So let's add another scene. To add your next scene, which is going to be the kitchen, you're going to go over here, and this is File, New Scene. Let's save scene first, though. We did File, Save Scene, and we're going to call this has intro. We'll call this intro because it's the first scene. So let's just call it intro, and that's the first scene of your game. We're saving it in assets. Click save. So now it's showing up there. Okay. So now we're going to go File, New Scene, blank. There's a new scene. So let's put our text in. Game object, user interface, text. So here's our text box over here. Jump over to your Google document, page 2. This is why it's good. This is why I want you to write it out in the Google document like this first, because now you can just copy and paste it. So now come back over here, click on text, go into your text box, and paste it in there. Now remember, the bounding box is not big enough to show all the text, so you got to expand that, and then expand the size of your font to 30 or 40. No, well, that's way, 3040 is way too big. So just do 40, and now you can see the text in there. You could change, once again, click on the camera and click on this colored box here, and you can lighten up the color of your background if you want to. That looks good. If you want, you can do it a different color than the other screen so that it just kind of differentiates the game. So I made the background color this color in the second scene. So we've got that now, and our text is done. And the main camera there, so we're good. All right, so now what we want to do is add our buttons for this scene. So how many buttons do we have in this scene? Go over to your map, take a look. From the kitchen, you can go to 2 places, so that means you need 2 buttons. So now you're just going to click up here, Game Object, User Interface, Button. And there it is. And we did these 300 by 100. Okay, and go to text. And where does this button go? Let's say engine room. So type in engine room, and let's make that 30 so that we can see the words. And let's then click back on button, double click on the color. Let's make the color, I don't really, let's see, how about purple? No, we already made the background purple, so yellow will work. So we'll make that yellow. Now I'll move the button to right here. And so we have a button there. Also, we had been working on, actually, so, that says if you'd use the image. I kind of messed that up. So double click. I'm going to Command Z. So I'm going to go bam, 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 bam. All right. So I Command Z. That's back. Undo. So I undid, and I need to click here and click yellow and make the button yellow. So now that's yellow, and then highlighted color. Let's do it something kind of orangey, and that's good. So now we've got that. Button number 1, we'll put that right here. Okay, so now we need to do our second button, and that from the kitchen takes us to the cabin. So we'll go back over here. Game object, user interface, button. Make the button 300 by 100. And we'll make the text 30. And we will type in that it can take you to the cabin. And I'll just move the button. Oh, that just selected the text. So, bam. Move the cabin over here. What color do we want it? Green. So make it green. And then when it's highlighted, we can have it be red. So now we've got that. And so if I hit play, okay, get it? All right. So now we've got that going on. So we have 2 rooms. Again, we can go over here and rename this button. We'll call it engine room button. Command A, Command C here, rename. And engine room button text, right? So I want you to do that for all your buttons. Zoom back out. Rename, we'll call it cabin button. And of course, cabin button text. All right, so that's all done. So now we have two scenes, file, save scene. And this is the kitchen, right? Save. All right, so now we need to do our last room. So file, new scene, okay? And we'll do, first we gotta add our text. Game object, user interface, text. Gonna click in the text box, go over to my Google document. This is, so we've done the kitchen, so now we need to do, it's actually, we have two more scenes to do. So we're gonna do, copy this, come back over here, paste that, right there. Remember the bounding box. Ooh, why is my text not showing up? There it is. Make it bigger. And so 30, that's pretty good. Let's make it 40. Okay, so now we can see that pretty good. We're going to add our buttons. And so we know that the buttons are 300 by 100. The button text goes to engine room, or we'll have the first one go to the kitchen, because those were the choices that we had mapped out. Alternate color be this one, and then let's put up another button, and we'll do 300 by 100, and we'll double click here. We'll make it, is that pink-ish? Whatever. We'll make that kind of pink, and we'll make the regular state be kind of blue, and then we'll click off of that and go to the text of this button, and it should go to the engine room. Okay, now we've got that, and let's move this up to size 30. Okay, good stuff. Rename these buttons to, let's see, this one's going to be kitchen. So by now, you're getting the idea, right? Okay, so now you've renamed all this stuff. So the only thing we haven't done is make these buttons work. We also haven't done the engine room scene yet. But with 3 rooms is enough for me to kind of show you what I want you to do in order to make the buttons active. So let's go back over to our intro scene. Oh, you can't save anything while you're in play mode. So File, Save Scene. And we're going to call this one, is this the cabin? Yep. So we'll call it CABIN for cabin and click Save. And so now we've got 3 scenes. You can see them right down here in your assets panel. Okay. Actually, before we go back over there, now in order to make the buttons work, we need to do something in build settings. So go File, Build Settings, and then just put Add Open Scenes. And now cabin shows up. So then go over to Kitchen. Just double click on the kitchen scene and Add Open Scenes. Then go to Intro, Add Open Scenes. We need those to be in build settings to make our script effective. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and create a script that'll make this all run. And you're gonna have to attach that script to something. So click up here and do Game Object, Create Empty. Now you got an empty game object, and you're gonna attach a script to that. So down here you're gonna go Create C# script, and let's call this the page turner. Okay, that script's called the page turner, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to create this very simple script that will control the pages of your game.